This is John, and this is the can should matrix. On one axis, you have can we do it? And on the other axis, you have should we do it? So let's go through the 9 boxes on the matrix. The first one are valuable things that we will not do unless something structural changes. So you just can't do it. You're not going to do it, even if you should do it. The next are 2 are challenging but very valuable. So these are things that are just barely can. We can barely do them, but they're very valuable. So we tend to do them. It's easy to burn out doing this type of work and very draining. 3 are positive things that are easy to do, and we tend to just do those things. I mean, if something is something we should do and we can do it, we do it. Below that, we have some nuanced things. So 4 are challenging enough to be interesting. So things that are super easy sometimes aren't very challenging, but down here in the middle are, we kind of should do them and we sort of can do them. I regard those as kind of middling things. I mean, they sit there right in the middle. The 5 category here, reasonably valuable, fairly easy, may unblock the difficult things that we're doing. And, okay, so we're doing them. They're easy. We can do them. Okay, let's do it. And then down here, we have things that are rarely attempted in the lower left, like if we can't do them and we really shouldn't do them, we rarely do those things. 7 are challenging things that feel valuable locally, but negatively impact the whole. So we can do them, but we really shouldn't be doing them. And 8 are really the things that we do when we get blocked. They're super easy to do. We shouldn't really be doing them, yet we do them. Now, one way you can think about this is the situation that different companies are in. So for example, during a rapid scale up period, you're doing stuff you should do, but it gets increasingly harder. So you start to get into this 2 category, right? Oh, everyone's grinding, but everyone's burning out. And what happens there is that some stuff moves into this can't do, but should do. So you just don't do it. And people, just to survive, they kind of focus on other things. They focus on what they do when they get blocked, this kind of middling work. Maybe they try to pick off some of this reasonably valuable work that they can, or they sort of get down into this locally valuable work that's not very valuable overall. And that's a problem of scale, right? So that means that you're doing what you were doing, what you should be doing, and things got so difficult that you went to these other categories. Now, what I've found that in other organizations, like that's long past this period of growth, people are just down here, they're just blocked. That's just become the way things are. And they're sort of down in these particular areas. New people join and sometimes they dip into some heroics into that 2 category. And obviously if they should be doing it, they're already doing it. So that's in the upper right. But they're not really challenging the status quo. They're not really asking, what must we do to unlock this stuff we really should be doing? So why is this valuable? How can it help teams? So what I've noticed is there's an interplay between can and should. We should ask, what should we be doing? And then we should ask, well, can we do it? Now, if you only start with what you can do, if an executive says, okay, list all the things you can do this quarter. Well, someone should really say, should we be doing these things? Okay, so we should start with should, and then we should ask can. However, if you only ask about should and not about can, you obviously do things that you can't do. If you only ask about can and not what you should do, you do a lot of things, but none of them are the things that you should do. And so you end up really exploring this interplay. A lot of companies are suffering because the valuable stuff that they should be doing, they're not doing, and they need to figure out how to block this. It's a difficult discussion though, because people also don't want to sort of admit that they're just working around the problem, and that's what they're doing down there. So you can see how this be helpful as a discussion point for teams. I think it's especially helpful when teams find themselves in this 2 category. That's a warning sign, things will get worse after that. And so hopefully that was interesting.